Hello, my name is Fenna. Welcome to Following Fenna. Are you obsessed with someone? Maybe you are limerence. And my life work is to create awareness around limerence, because I get daily emails from people all over the world saying I did not know what was wrong with me and I was suffering and I knew that something out of the ordinary was going on, and then they discover the term limerence and it ticks all the boxes. So to create more awareness on this disruptive state of mind, I hope that people will find this video, because they cannot stop thinking about someone and it feels weird and it feels unhealthy and they feel out of control, obsessing. And in this video, I'm going to explain you what it is and what you feel, and that this might be limerence and what you can do about it. Okay, I'm going to give you the symptoms, and I hope everyone who sees this video will leave a comment so the algorithm will pick this up to reach more people, because there are still millions of people out there who don't know what they're experiencing has a name and what it is. And maybe they're on the verge of making very radical decisions that they actually should not make, because their feelings for this person they are so strong. Okay, here are the symptoms. See if you recognize this. Number 1, you are very overly focused on one person. You think about them all freaking day. In fact, you cannot not think about them. The show, the tape that's running in your head goes on and on and on, and you are obsessed. Sometimes non-romantically, by the way, but most of the time it's a romantic obsession. Number 2, there is a strong need to have contact with them, to get their attention or to get reciprocity. Contact or attention or reciprocity or thinking about them makes you calm. Not having contact makes you sad, stressed and anxious. Number 3, there are obstacles. You are not in a happy, healthy, secure relationship with this person. There are obstacles such as one of you is married, or maybe the two of you are married. This is long distance. This is not appropriate. There is limited access. They are avoidant attached. There is something or maybe multiple things causing you two to not form a happy, defined couple. Number 4. You have extreme mood swings. You can be extremely happy when you did have contact, when you saw them, or you spent some time thinking about them, to low grayness when you feel rejected or you didn't get the attention that you were hoping for. Number 5. You sometimes are aware that this feels weird and unhealthy, and sometimes you want to get out, but you don't know how. You seem addicted. Number 6. There is an unrealistic component to this. Like maybe you know that this will never happen and you and the other will never be in a happy, healthy, secure relationship, but yet you still want it and it doesn't make sense. Some people don't even like the other that much, and you know that this is a mismatch, and yet that does not stop you from longing for them. Number 7, you long for them intensely. Even seeing a little piece of their ear will give you a strong physical reaction, let alone a ping of an incoming message on your phone. You long for them and your reactions are really strong also physically. Number 8. Other things in your life are less important or became less important. Some people neglect their family, their kids, their job. The other is priority number one. You just don't have the headspace for other things. This person makes you feel so good, and that's the most important thing in your life right now. Number 9. You might start to think about taking radical decisions. Some people leave their marriage, their kids in a haze, in an urgency to be with the other person, or you are trying to adjust yourself to them. What would the other person like? Maybe I like that too. And even though this person can give you a lot of energy, at least in the beginning, you are losing yourself and your surrounding slowly. Number 10, you think that this might be your soulmate. Now, these are the most common symptoms, and there are more, such as having trouble sleeping. There are more symptoms. But if you say yes, and in most cases we say yes to all of them, you are probably in limerence or experiencing what we call a limerent episode. That means that you are in an altered state of addiction to another person. That means you feel, think, and you act differently than how you normally would. And people most of the time start to Google, searching for the symptoms to see what the heck is going on here. Now, this is an addiction. And I mean literally, not figuratively. Your brain lights up to the contact or the reciprocity or interaction with this person, the same areas that people do who are addicted, to slot machines, to gambling, or to cocaine or alcohol. The same hormones are at play here. So this is a person addiction. Now, because of the intermittent contact, the unpredictableness in the contact, the limited access or the obstacles or the inconsistency in the contact, our reward system gets activated. An intermittent reward causes repetition of behavior. That's how addictions grow. And in the beginning, the rewards / hits of dopamine, they feel great. But after a while, we need the other person to just calm our addicted nervous system down. So we're literally addicted. That's why we get obsessed, and that's why it's so hard to let go. You cannot just let go. Now, there's something else going on in limerence. We can't seem to think straight. We know that this is weird, or that our feelings are blown out of proportion, and we think that this person is larger than life, even though we know they're not. There are several biases here at play. And that's why it's so unlogical in most cases. The whole thing doesn't make sense. And some people don't even want to be with the other person in real life, yet they want to be with them. And that's because your rational brain is not very active when you are in a limerent state. Your ancient, old, reptile, reflex, emotional, need for attachment kind of brain, that's not the official Latin name, by the way, is running the show here. This part is active. Maybe you recognize one or the more circumstances that makes us very vulnerable for limerence. Number 1. A few years prior to the beginning of this episode, there was a loss or a life event that had an impact on your life. Number 2, you have trauma, depression, ADHD, or you are high sensitive. Number 3, you are middle-aged. Number 4, you miss social contact, you are in a sexless marriage, or you are bored or unfulfilled in one or more areas in your life. And number 5, you have attachment wounds. Now, I'm generalizing the circumstances that can create or make fertile soil for the beginning of a limerent episode. But these are the circumstances that I see most when I talk to my clients. And if this ticked all your boxes, you are probably in limerence, which is not a DSM-5 diagnosis, by the way. This is not an illness, this is not a disease. That doesn't make it less damaging or disruptive, by the way, to say the least. Now, the bad news is, because this is not an illness or a disease, there's no standardized treatment yet. And because of the symptoms overlap so many symptoms of other mental illnesses, I should say, we often get misdiagnosed. We get diagnosed based on the symptoms that we show during the limerence. But limerence is temporary, at least if you decide to stop it at one point. Either you form a relationship with this person or you go no contact. But people are diagnosed with borderline personality disorders, depression, obsessive compulsive disorders, codependency, we're being called love addicts, etc. Now, if I speak for myself, even though I showed all these symptoms and that look like these diagnoses, I don't have them. Maybe I have some attachment wounds, maybe a little ADD, I don't know. But I'm not codependent. I don't have borderline personality disorder. I normally have no issues regulating my mood. But during my limerent episode, I showed all these symptoms. I had mood swings. I could not regulate my emotions, etc. And I see my clients try everything. They go to the AA meetings, they follow the 12 steps, they do EMDR, they meditate, which is all fine, which is all good. Sometimes they turn more to the occult because they want a sense of control. They read tarot cards, they use the law of attraction, they seek sidekicks to give them an answer if this person loves them, if they can be with this person. And of course, whatever helps you is good. Not the tarot cards, the occult things and the law of attraction, by the way, because these things give you a false sense of control and that slowly will get you deeper and more sucked into the limerence. Now, the fastest, and in my opinion, the only way to get out of the limerence, besides forming a couple with this person, is to break off contact. And if you can't, because this is a co-worker or something, you have to avoid them as much as possible. That means that you will go through a physical withdrawal and after a grief process. That's not fun, to say the least. But unfortunately, that's the most healthy and also, in my opinion, the fastest way to get out of the limerent state and to break the addiction. Now, for some people, the withdrawal is very mild. They hardly feel it. For other people, me, they were crawling on the floor for 2 weeks because their nervous system reacted so strong to the absence of the drug, to call it like that. Now, what you can also do, and what good can come out of being in a limerent episode, is have a look. Use the limerence as a mirror. If you entered a limerent episode, you can look at what was wrong, because it shows you that there was something wrong which needed your attention. If you are in a limerent episode and you feel the pain here, you know that there's something wrong over here. You're focused on this limerent episode. I try to point to my heart. There's something wrong here, but there's something wrong here. Maybe you didn't give your marriage enough attention. Maybe you are in the need for sex. Maybe you had grief that was not addressed. Maybe there's trauma in your family history running around that needs to be addressed. When you entered a limerent episode, you can use that as a mirror to look at, okay, besides the fact that I entered a limerent episode, which sucks because it's very painful, there's something else that needs to be addressed, and what can it be? And please don't make radical decisions. A person you hardly know and you are obsessed about is not your soulmate. We're not, if you believe in soulmates, these are not the persons that you are obsessed about. Your feelings are not proof. So don't use the strongness of your feelings as proof that you should be with this person. Now, on the website Living with Limerence, you can find a ton of information about limerence. And of course, you can also watch my videos to get more knowledge on what is going on here. I'm an ex-limerent myself. I offer one-on-one coaching, and I also have a community here on YouTube where I pop in regularly to answer your questions. I hope you can widespread this information. The whole world should know about the term limerence. And if there is someone in your surrounding that you think is in limerence, please inform them. Stop the suffering. It's so important that you know that what you have and you experience has a name, and no, you're not going crazy. For now, I want to thank you for watching this video, and I hope to see you in another video. Bye.